Welcome to part 2 of From Runner to Racer, and today it's going to be a much more interactive YouTube type presentation for you crazy internet kids. And the focus is going to be Form 101. I want to make 4 key points, and that is to focus on keeping your head up, trying to not twist your arms and torso, striking with the ball of your foot and not your heel, and arms being close to 90-degree angles. So we're going to start with the head. Head down is mostly a sign of fatigue, and it takes you out of the race. It shortens your stride, and when you're looking down, your focus is just, the ground, I'm tired, whatever, and it's not looking straight ahead for potential runners who are also getting tired. They might be slowing down, whatever. And when you notice that, that could really motivate you. But when you're looking down, you don't notice it. And one of the things that you can do is to strengthen your shoulder, back, and core muscles. So pull-ups definitely helps. Push-ups will help. And all that core stuff that we're doing before we do our workout is going to make a difference in the long run as well.
So here's Kyle about 1.8-ish miles into the race. One of the things him and I talked about is how on Saturday, the second mile was the one he was most unhappy with. So here's footage of him running in that second mile. The first thing that I want to talk about is his head, something we talked about the other day. He's looking down. If he was looking up, well, let's go frame by frame. Unfortunately, it's kind of choppy, but looking down, looking down, looking down, still looking down. If he was looking up, he would notice how the guy in front of him is starting to fade. If he was looking down at this point, he wouldn't notice that the guy in front of him is now starting to turn around. When a runner in front of you is starting to turn around, that means they're concerned about you. And if they're concerned about you, it probably means they're fading. So if Kyle was looking down at this point, he wouldn't have picked up on this. I don't know if, he's looking up right now. I don't know if he picked up on this anyhow, but obviously if he's looking down, he's just not going to pick up on anything ahead of him. On the other hand, when he is looking up, he's going to notice which runners are fading, and he can start trying to pick them off. So the head is the first thing that I wanted to point out.
The second point that I want to make is to limit your side-to-side twists. Your arms should not travel above the chest or behind the midline of your body. You can strengthen your arms by doing push-ups, chin-ups, pull-ups, bench press, just general working out with weights. And it's easier for guys than girls because our hip structure is different. So girls are going to just naturally be twisting a little bit more side to side, but with guys it's definitely possible to just have a straightforward motion north and south.
We're going to start with the very same frame that we started the previous clip, but this time I want to focus on the arms, and specifically with Kyle I want to focus on his right arm. Now it's not going to be apparent at first, but that arm is going to be twisting him. So here it's coming around, it's starting to, I don't know if you guys can notice, it's starting to twist him a little bit. Step again, it's going to start coming around. There it is. Yeah, as you can see, it's starting to rotate him even more. Next step. Bam. In relation, at this point, it's almost perpendicular to his left leg. And those things should be parallel. So, yeah, imagine if you had an extension on that right arm, and if you had an extension on that left leg, instead of being parallel, like I said, they're perpendicular. So another step, and starting to come towards the end. Yeah, here we go. again, he's twisting in midair, and those kind of twists are throwing him from side to side and keeping him from going in a smooth straight line.
The third point that I want to make is to not strike with the heel. It's a very high impact shock to the body event. It's like if you're driving in a car and you slam on the brakes every second. So instead, you want to land with the ball of your foot. Um, Hitting with your heel is a sign of overstriding, and once you start hitting with the ball of your foot, it might start feeling weird at first, but over the span of your running career, whether it's high school or whether you continue running, practice makes perfect, and you're going to feel much better in the long run. Now, if you strengthen your quads, then this is going to become a much easier technique. Hill running will definitely strengthen your quads, and just starting to run properly more and more is also going to do wonders for your quads.
The last thing that I want to talk about today is the way Kyle is landing on his foot. It's very natural, and most of us, well, most of you guys do this, to land with the heel of your foot first. And the reason we do this is because when you're walking, your heel makes contact with the ground first. It's very unnatural to land on the ball of your foot. This is something we'll talk about in practice, and you'll notice that it feels kind of weird. But when you're running, elite runners land on the ball of their foot, and the reason they do that is because think about the impact that's about to be generated here. He's about to land with the heel here. Now, I don't know how much Kyle weighs, but that whole weight, um, when he strikes the ground here, he's running on pavement. That pavement is not going to give. So that shock of the impact has to go somewhere. And it's going to go throughout that leg, and it's just going to jam him. It's essentially like hitting the brakes in your car. So with every step, bam, 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 he's jamming and he's slowing down. Now, if he used to hit with the ball of his foot, this wouldn't be an issue. And we'll see Ryan Hall, we'll see footage of the way Ryan Hall is landing. So, yeah, all this impact, it's jamming through his leg, it's slowing him down, and it's making him much more prone to injury and, of course, fatigue. So let's take a couple more steps. There he is again. He's about to land on the heel of his foot. There he is, making contact. All that impact is jamming through his extended leg. And one more. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Point of impact, straight leg, jamming and stopping him.
The last point that I want to make is to keep your arms at right angles. In addition to that, they should not go above your chest, like we see Amber doing over here. Her left arm is way above her chest, and you should not drive your hands forward. They should be driven back, if anything. When you drive your elbows back, it helps to produce a quick, light, and efficient stride.
The second point that I want to make about the arms is the arms should be at 90-degree angles, so they should be at right angles. So there's going to be, I guess we'll get a little bit closer. So we'll move forward. All right, up here, look how this angle's like 10. Well, that's not 10 degrees, but it's like in the high teens, maybe low 20s, and look how high up it is. So same thing as it shifts. Look at the angle on the right arm over here. Again, it's in the high teens, low 20s, nowhere near a right angle.